Going live, going live, going live, going live. And we're live. Let me arrange my windows a little more. Not terribly. Now that's it. There's a sentence structure if I've ever heard one. Okay. All right. Look how nice and orderly this screen that you, the viewers at home, cannot see. It looks, it's a nightmare. Okay. And it still has the problem of having multiple versions of my face staring at me, moving around, catching the attention. Okay, so this brings us to the subject of extroversion and how I made a mistake for, let's say, about 7 years. Okay, so while we do that, I'm going to be playing with a game, and I'll tell you. Boing. If you were here for the last stream, you were here to see these awesome trampolines. Those sounds are fun. I think I need another animation for the disappointing bounce, though. Anyway, does not matter. What matters is, while I do this, turn down the volume, and we're going to talk about streaming and extroversion. So, not a psychologist, but there you go. That's exactly what you want to hear. I'm not a doctor, but so about 7 years ago. Bad at my own game. Oh, I died. Let's start over. 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I started this story. And I'm only finishing it today. 7 years ago, I was researching game development. I think it was about 7 years ago. Because I was actually dipping my toe into, working on games or possibly programming, that fearful process. Boing. Oh. I might have to tune these. And I heard, I think it was Vlambeer. It was Vlambeer who was talking about streaming game development. And they streamed the development of Nuclear Throne. It was like once a week. And boing. Yes, that one feels good now. And essentially their conclusion was it was nice for marketing the game, but it was exhausting. It was a lot of work to set it up, to prepare for it, and it was better to just develop games. So I, without thinking much more about it, boing. I followed that advice. It's like, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. That feels really bad. I need to mess with that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to stream games and stuff, stream development, because it doesn't, it sounds like it takes up more time and energy than it's worth, maybe, or at least time and energy that I don't have, because I have very limited time to develop games, right? So, I made that conclusion, not going to be doing this, and stuck with it for 7 years without questioning it until today. And I realized, okay, streaming is not a anxiety-inducing, stressful, difficult thing for me to do. If the technology is set up, I think that feels worse since we've changed. I wonder if we're calculating We'll see about that. So my base assumption was this is going to take time and energy away from game development that I don't have to give to it. So I'm going to find other ways to market, other ways to share what I know, what I do, or maybe just not at all, just develop games. And I questioned that assumption tonight because I realized when I've done streaming in the past, it hasn't been draining. It has been enlivening, right? It has been something that I have enjoyed. That makes me, like, I feel more energetic and better after streaming than, I was before. It isn't like a net negative energy experience. And if I'm developing the game, yeah, that's weird. Maybe it won't even be like a net negative productivity when we think about streaming, right? Maybe streaming won't be net negative in terms of productivity because maybe I'll have more energy and I'll get more done when I'm on stream, as much or more maybe. So this is the assumption we're going to be testing, and you'll see on the title I have a 1 out of 10 number. It's because I'm going to at least commit to doing 10 streams of game development. Just because, the second, third, fourth stream can start to get hard. The second, fourth, fifth of anything can start to get hard because it's not novel, it's not new anymore, but you haven't figured out if it actually works for you yet, right? So I tend to try to commit to 10 things if I can. And so I'm going to commit to 10 streams. We're going to figure out if my idea is valid. If indeed I have been wrong, these 7 long years. And if streaming is actually something that is a positive thing, not only for, potentially marketing and teaching people, but also positive in terms of productivity. Whoa. Because I suspect that maybe it will be. Maybe. Anyway, I do love doing it too. I've just been kind of very hard line. I gotta, what is it? I've got to squeeze my schedule really tightly. I got to make sure that I wring every last drop of productivity out of that time as possible. But, sometimes you just forget to actually enjoy yourself, which is kind of a sin. It's not good. Boing, boing. That's a little odd. It seems to be that when I rotate the... I think I know why that's happening. I'm gonna have to change my code because these angled trampolines do not work the way that I would expect them to work. Is very bad. Ow. Maybe that's no fun. We'll see. Of course, maybe, so let's look back at the trampoline code. So anyway, all of this to say, if you're an introverted person and you find the idea of streaming to be fraught, anxiety-inducing, difficult, requires a lot of prep, fair enough. Maybe you don't do it if you have limited time. But if you're an extrovert like me and you just enjoy talking and talking contributes to your energy and helps to be able to share something with someone else, then you might want to give it a try. It might really work for you. It feels like it's working for me. We'll see. Maybe I won't get anything done ever. Let's talk about the trampoline though. Okay, trampoline. Where are you? There you are. Bouncy. Why do I call it bouncy? I'm bad at naming conventions. But let's go ahead and close all the other tabs. Shall we? Maybe. Godot. There we go. After I fumble my hotkeys here. So I think maybe we won't punish the player much for not hitting the center. Won't punish them at all for not hitting the center. We'll just give them a nice nifty little boost if they hit the middle. It's generally feels better. Reward, don't punish in games. Unless you're making a punishing game. So we've got the speed multiplier, but then what's the problem? I should get a pillow to smother myself in when I cough. Pillow acquired. I've had a little bit of a cold, so I'm going to be... It's easier than muting, you know? Yeah. So the problem is when the trampoline rotates. It's not an even rotation. I mean, it doesn't... the distance from the middle here is not the same. So the middle of where the trampoline is and the origin changes. So that's stupid. Can I? Okay. But stick with me here. Is this something that I could... If I was better at programming... I'd be able to actually think through how to do the math, find the center when I rotate. So, but let's think about it for a second here. Okay? All right. So we're rotating this, right? And the middle of the trampoline is essentially traveling a circle. Okay. So the middle of the trampoline, which is -8 here, is, you know, +8 over here, but then it's... But we're just thinking about the x-axis. So -8 here, +8 here, you know, somewhere in here it's going to be 0. How do we figure out how to do that? Let me interrogate Copilot for a little bit, see if I can get something up here. So, I will not be talking while I type, by the way. Ooh. I should show you sometime my keyboard. I have a pretty, I mean, pretty is subjective. I have a clickety-clack mechanical keyboard with a Gyarados key and unicorn vomit stuff going on, which I really like. I need to get some more random keycaps though, so I can continue to make it just chaotic. It's the one chaotic thing I allow on my desk. Everything else is like black, stripped down, no nonsense, but my keyboard is, you know, my exception. What was I asking Copilot? Squirrel. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Copilot. Just helped, but actually not in the way that. You smothered him with your pillow. Okay. I killed my coughs. Started typing and then I realized what the solution is, which is let's find the center of one of the child nodes. Because when we rotate the parent, the child nodes are yeah. Right. Which one? The sprite? Is that going to be... I mean, it's probably the obvious choice. If there are any doctors out there, and I have a rare case of something that you can diagnose by my cough in the pillow, I mean, you're either an amazing doctor or a quack. Yeah. Okay. So we'll take the easy way out, and we will grab the position of the sprite. Grab the sprite. That works, yes. Position. Cannot infer because you are weak, Godot. I'm just kidding. I love you, Godot. Then we're going to calculate everything instead of -8. Which is, I mean, reasonably smart of me. I felt proud of that, but... Too late. Sprite. Hold on. Let's just make the sprite position X. Wait. Is this going to work? Yeah. Yeah, this should work. This should totally work. Sprite position. We should make this more accurate by calling it sprite exposition. Exposition. Time for some exposition. So I was bored. No. Oh, no. No time. No time. Developing games here. I can't give you my whole life history. Don't ask. Let's see if that works. See if I can play the game without looking at it. Okay. I cannot. We need a... Yeah, we do. We need another frame for, like, the pathetic bounce, but we'll get to that. Boing. 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 Oh. That was not perfect. Okay, so let's see if these tilted trampolines act like I want them to. Boing. Flub. Boing. Boing. That feels a lot better. Boing. 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 Yes. Hey, it works, guys. Let's commit our progress. We're doing it. We're making a game. We're making a game. All right. This trampolines now have variable bounce height. Hooray for trampolines. Push. We forgot, though. We need to open a sprite so we can have another frame of our bounce animation. Why am I singing tunelessly? It was a great stream. Great stream. All he was doing was just like burying his face in a pillow. Trampoline. So I'm opening up a sprite here. And you know, eventually I'll have like a fancy setup where I can show you my A sprite screen. Yeah, I could just try to do it here. Excuse me. I've got a cold. Yeah, I mean, this is not ideal. So what we want to do is another frame here for the pathetic bounce. So, new frame. But instead of... Excuse me. Instead of this big old nice... Hey, sprite, why are you... Okay, it's this one down here. Another thing I'm terrible at, naming layers. Who has time? So I want it to kind of be like vroomp. You know? Vroomp. Like, I want it to look disappointing too. I turn on lock alpha. By the way, if you have any A-Sprite questions, I am not an A-Sprite expert. I don't even know if that's strictly the way you're supposed to pronounce it. But, you know, ask away. Maybe I'll do it. Art stream. Uh-oh, error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Well, if that's a problem, take it up with YouTube. It's probably not my fault, right? Yeah. Okay. So we want the star to look disappointed in you as well. It's just like, I'm going to actually turn into a tentacle creature just to show how disappointed I am in you. How weak sauce that bounce was. Yeah. Okay. We're going to save this. We're going to export the sprite sheet. Trampoline. We will overwrite the trampoline. I'll go back in here to the trampoline. Our sprite will be messed up. Then we're going to have to change the animations. Bounce. So let's see. The bounce actually should be good because we just added a frame on the end. But then we need a second animation. So let's just duplicate that and call it bounce fail. Bounce fail. And we'll make this into frame 3. I don't know if that kind of recoil is going to look right, but we'll find out. We also need to code it so it actually plays that animation. Yeah, stupid twit. Okay. So we'll play bounce if we have a successful bounce, and bounce fail if we have a unsuccessful bounce. Let's see how it looks. We should turn on the sound too, because the sound is a big part of the experience for bouncing on this trampoline. Alright, let's go. Trampoline. My lungs. Okay. Middle. That is a really disappointing animation. Although, why are we... Why are they all disappointing? Bounce. Bounce. Fail. Bounce, fail, bounce. What? What? Play, bounce. Play, bounce, fail. Bounce. Bounce, fail. Does this mean every bounce is failing? So I'm not keeping with my microphone here. I might be like, you can't hear me half the time. All that stuff. Apologies if that is the case. I'll try to get better about gluing my upper lip to the mic like this so you can hear. So you can hear my deep, resonant voice. Okay. So why is this not working? Huh. We get the sprite X position. Body position X. Minus sprite X position. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Except for the extra pair of parentheses. What? Let's print distance. Let's see if something stupid's going on. Debug. Property hint node path to edited node. Yes. Did I mention I'm a terrible typist? And I even took Mavis Beacon. I mean, not like that. Like I took her course. Yeah. Oh. Looky there. We're up in the thousands again. Why? Because we're checking child node. So it is global position. Global position X. This is why we do what we do. Frankly. Oh. So disappointing. So satisfying. Ooh. Oh. Oh. It feels so bad. So this is one of those situations where there's no real reason that the player has to hit the middle. Unless, I mean, these are made so that you can bounce on the edge and go over. But it's just so much more fun to hit the middle. Oh, the sounds, guys. By the way, shameless plug. In the last stream, you need to see my process for creating sound effects, and it's amusing. I won't tell you anything more, but check out the end of my last stream, because then you'll see me making sound effects, which is probably worth the entrance fee. There's no entrance fee. Oh, it's just so good. Oh, you just feel so bad when you hit the edge. And so good when you nail it. Yes. Oh. Yeah, and the nice thing is, like, it feels bad. I should probably give the player some points when they hit the middle. I mean, they don't need points to hit the middle because it's just objectively better. Like, it's just so much more fun. But maybe if we... This is going to be the most unpleasant stream ever. Maybe if we hit, like, the exact middle, we could get a point. Let's give it a try. Oh. He just died. So... let's just pop it in here. If distance is less than 2, then we have to remember how to give the player points. Level manager. No. Yes. But no. New score label. Why don't we just have something that gives them a score and does the score? I know. This is likely way too many signals. New score label. Amount. Position. Let's check to see if that actually gives them a score. I'm not sure if it does. But does give the player a score automatically. And instead of new score label, let's just call it player scored. Because if it doesn't do that, it's gonna. New score label. Okay. New score label. Player scored. What is this? It doesn't. Player score changed. I've got another signal for the player score changing. I don't really like that, you know. But here's what we can do. Which is a clever thing that I did before, which might be too clever. Player score changed, emit. Score value. So let's check our game events again. Player score changed. Score to add to the total. Add true to reset. So amount, false. But now we have to remove this. Player scored. We could probably simplify that a little bit more, but we're not gonna. Now, in the bouncy, game events, score chain, player scored. Player scored. We're going to change this again. Player scored. Player scored. Emit. 1. Not the global position, but the sprite X position. Let's give it a try. Let's see if we can score. Rack up. Wait, we can't do this. This is a stupid idea. I just realized. Unless we just make it once per trampoline. Because if you don't make it once per trampoline, what's the upshot? This. This is what happens. Forever. Infinite value. And we can't seem to trigger it at all. So this might be too tight. Good. Wait. Okay. Let's try this again. I haven't gotten to my level design tonight. Okay, something is wrong. Debugger's screaming. Maybe. Float. It's supposed to be a vector 2. Got it. Global position. There. I should probably put a note that that's supposed to be a vector 2, although of course it is. I'm just being dumb. Let's go. Let's go. Scored. Scored. Didn't score. Scored. Should you score just when you hit the middle? Should not be like sometimes you don't. That feels like it's gonna be boing. Hey look, I've got 6 points. 6 points. Yeah, we don't need this distance thing. If not, scored. Good enough. All right. So now we save, we commit, because committing is important in more than one sense of that phrase. And commit. Waiting, we're waiting. Okay, and then we're going to wrap up the stream for now. Because my daughter is sick too, and we're going to do some stuff to try to help that. So I'll be headed out. I love that he just bounced a long time. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these fairly short streaming sessions as I get time to work. And keep an eye out for them. And this may be my permanent pattern in the future. We'll see. I like streaming. We'll see how it goes. Take care.